You guys, but I've been having kind of a week, so let's do this. I wasn't going to do it, but a hole in my schedule opened up, which we'll talk about in a minute, and now we can do it. So let's have some fun, play some video games. Okay, I'm just double checking to make sure my sound works. All right, back to the thing. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Welcome to Famicom Dojo, Pile of Shame Live, where this week we're going to play a game that's already in the Retron, Chrono Trigger. This is... it's going to say Vinnk subscribed every episode, isn't it? This is the Super Famicom version, as you may have noticed, but I'm playing it in the Retron, and there's a language patch. So if you're familiar with this game at all, I don't know what the language patch is gonna do to it. So we'll see. But anyway, I guess in honor of playing the Famicom version, I'm going to use a Super Famicom version, I should say. I'm going to use my Super Famicom controller on the Retron, because why not? Hey guys, how's it going? I've been having a week. How's your week been going? As you respond, I'll just tell you about how my week has been going. So we were on vacation last week, throwing kids off the dock, as you do. And I tripped over one of the hitches, the hitch post things on the dock. And rather than take a digger or fall in the water, I instinctively regained my balance and swung my arm around and just punched a pole. And so this finger has not been doing so great, but it's been about a week now, and it's recovering, shall we say, but I got a gig in a week. So I think it'll be fine. But that's not the worst of it. I was exposed to someone who had COVID recently. So per CDC and work protocols, I've either been masking around other people or staying home from work, which they allow me to do, which I'm grateful for. But that wasn't really how I wanted my week to go. So didn't get to jam with the old time country band like I was hoping to this week, even though I don't think my finger could have handled it. So kind of a twofer there. But that's where I'm at. Oh, I also wasn't going to be able to stream originally because we were just so busy. But since I have to stay away from people for at least another day, I'm free tonight. Lucky you. Thanks to everyone who replied on Twitter and elsewhere about what we should be playing. A lot of good suggestions. I think we should get to them all at some point. But there's also the polls that we did earlier this year, and we have to get back to those. Actually, I should put it up after the stream is over. But our initial round of winners was Super Mario Sunshine, Donkey Kong Country, Kid Icarus, and Star Wars, and we played Star Wars to completion, and some of the others. So round 2 of the next 4 highest vote getters per console, Pikmin for GameCube, Mega Man X for Super Nintendo, Mega Man 3 for NES, and Spelunker for Famicom. So we're going to put those up. You guys get to pick which of those 4 we'll play first, hopefully next week, whenever we get the stream up. What if I remember to do the poll, which is otherwise we're doing that today. But, okay. Rachel says hi, hello. Kanacha says hi. Kanacha suggested Chrono Trigger for today. Alexa, hello. Anyone else here? Just you guys so far. All right. Yeah, happy to see you too. Happy to be here. Happy to be anywhere. Ha ha! As the old joke goes. I guess some notes. Am I too loud? It looks like I might be too loud. Just a second. Let me adjust my levels. Right there? Better? Still a little too loud. Okay. It's a nice problem to have after the last several weeks. So I don't know what's going on with the rig. I mean, it's not a Famicom Dojo live stream unless there's a technical problem. But the onboard microphone jack, I don't know if there's like some Windows like helpful software running in the background to make it like equalize like it is right now. But it is, I cannot get it any louder than it is. Like the system settings say that it's like, 30 plus decibel max volume, like on the device, and then Windows itself has it all the way up, and this software has it all the way up. I just turned myself down in the software because that's how loud this is. I actually have a Logitech dongle, which stopped working on the old computer, or never worked in this one. I can't remember which it was. So I stopped using it also because I wanted to free up a USB port. I guess I could get some kind of USB hub if I really am that worried about it. But I figured, hey, this is a good reason to stop using it, but now I'm having all these problems. So I've been using this to stream or like according to the computer, do podcasting, whatever, for years, and it still works. So I'm going to keep using it, and this should fix a lot of the problems I've been having technically, I hope, unless other software tries to use it and it gets all goofed. But at least for today, it's going to be okay. So I sound good. Yay. All right. I also adjusted the game audio ahead of time. So let's see how it goes. To the retro station. I click and it doesn't do anything. Shame. Yes, I'm still here. I was jabbering away. All right. So Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger and I have had a long, contentious relationship, shall we say. I have been trying to play this game in some form or another for decades. I never got a hard copy of it until 2011 when I got the Super Famicom cartridge, and this game is notoriously expensive now. I might have other ways of playing it. Is the game too loud? Let me know. Because I rejiggered everything. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. All right. Still looks kind of loud. So my first time through, I tried playing it on my Wii, which died. So I lost everything, like everything I had on it, like messages, Mii's, like everything. So I was able to reconstitute some of those things. I think it was 2012 or 2013. I was able to reconstitute some of those things from Wii remotes where I had stored some of these Mii's so I could use them at friends' houses. So I got those back. Everything else was gone though, and that's such a bummer. I got the same Wii back ostensibly, but like while the shell seemed like it was the same, there's no serial number on it. So I'm like, did they just like put my shell on I don't even know what they did. But that's how I was able to finally play things like Skyward Sword, which is now out for the Switch. But I got to play it 10 years ago, so ha ha ha. Anyway, so I didn't play it on the Wii again. What did I play it on a second time? I don't know. Like I tried to pick it up and nothing really happened. Did I try and play it on the Wii again? Maybe I did. I keep stopping. And then I played the game again more recently on the Retron here, which is how I know everything works. But I stopped again because apparently I did something really, really wrong. That leads to like a bad timeline or whatever. So I'm just like, I don't want to start over. But here we are. We're gonna try it again. So maybe got to push the A button. Tonight's drink is Laughing Fish, a Northern Golden Ale from the Upper Hand Brewery in the UP. That's the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. For those who don't recognize that landmass and the logo there. We were there for another vacation a few weeks ago, and I still have some leftover craft brew. So I hate the word microbrew. It makes it sound like it's like little tiny bubbles or something, which they are tiny, but it makes it sound like they're tinier for some reason. So it's hard to do that when this is in the way. I haven't had one yet, I swear. So 200? Oh my gosh. All right. Audio levels balanced. Beautiful. So I probably could play this on other things. Like it's not like on the it's not on like this SNES Classic Edition, is it? I don't know. Is it on NSO? I have no idea about that either. But let's just do some things. Final battle. Faded Hour. Oh, these are not my saves. Maybe I haven't played it on here before. I'm very confused right now. I could do a New Game Plus even? How strange. I could have sworn, maybe I never saved the game. Maybe that's the problem. All right. Let's do Wait, because I haven't played this game before. And like I prefer active battles. Let's do active. All right, here's Chrono. Should I give him a silly name? No, let's just go. Is it on Steam? I don't know, probably. All right. I mean, I've definitely played it before because I know what's going on. It's just a question of whether I went back to the Wii or where I was trying it. Good morning, Chrono. Maybe I did do it on the Wii, and that's why I'm so confused. Now, it's possible they just took the translation from the Super Nintendo, but that means they have to have the ROM dump, which I guess isn't hard. The Millennial Fair. So when this game was released in the 90s, you know, the Millennium was all the rage, right? So now we're a pretty long ways from the next one, so no one cares as much. I must have recorded some footage for some video I did. So I must have been on my Wii. Or no, where would it have been? Luca, that's fine. Aka. Oh no, how do I go back? That's right, Luca. I like how you can change her name because that's the name that your mom thinks it is. And you can be like, no, Mom, it's Boobop. No, it's Faye, or like whatever. Like, that's great. I love that. I have a cat. Hey, kitty. Oh, good thing I talked to her. Oh, would she have let me leave without it? I don't know. Decisions. The music is great. What do you expect from Square, though? Nothing less? Nothing less. Square soft. Sorry about that. No ounces of cat food. What a jerk you are, Chrono. This is very Zelda, isn't it? Wake up in a bed. When did this game come out? 95? Yeah, this is after. Well after Town Square. Town Square! This is well after Link to the Past. Visit our stall in Lean Square. Okay. This is not the square? Looks like a square. You're a square. Luca's house. What is up here? What is she doing? Anything else interesting to talk about so far today? Watched lots of TV. Can always expect that from me, right? I ended up just today finished up Loot on Apple TV, which I've been watching. I was like, I don't know. I watched when episode 8 had aired, or 8 had just aired later that week, so I was all caught up by then. And so now it's episode 10 and it's over. For All Mankind finale was today. Physical, I think, aired already, but I'm not quite caught up with it yet. I don't know why I keep watching Physical, honestly. I don't really like it that much. I mean, it's not that I don't like it, I just don't like the characters. For All Mankind ended in just about the only way For All Mankind can. Like, I like that show, but man, it is high in its own supply sometimes, let's just say. Taban? Why are you at home? Are you ill? Are you just there to tell me that she's not here? Man, what a mess. I can't come. Look at me. I got a new chair, so you can see behind my head now all the cool things behind me. I've had that chair for like over 20 years. In fact, Renetto of YouTube fame, if you've been around as long as I have, the last 16 years almost, he recently... Time to stop the stream that I'm in the middle of doing. Don't have to stop it tonight because I don't have anything else to do. Okay. He loved a comment of mine, which is a new feature of I probably shouldn't go in here, huh? Let's just do what Mom said, eh? And what's funny about that to me is he loved a 15-year-old comment, which I didn't know you can interact with anymore because like those things have gone so many through so many gyrations. There was the original YouTube commenting system, and then I think there was like an updated YouTube commenting system, and then there was like the Google Plus stuff, which Google Plus is gone now, and it went back. I don't know if it went back to an old YouTube commenting system or like another like third iteration of it. But you can like and you can reply to and you can love those comments now. And so if you see people like in old YouTube comments and they're not threaded, they didn't have threading back then. I think it would let you like tag a person, or maybe I'm wrong about that. And then the tagging went away when like the Google Plus stuff went away. I can't remember. King is the 33rd descendant of the throne. That's a lot. How can he rule a kingdom when he can't even control his own daughter? Let's do some math on that. About how old was each king when they died? 30. No, it means that they ruled for 30 years apiece. That's not what that means. That's not how old they were, because they didn't start when they were babies. And that's an average. Like, you know, Queen Elizabeth II has been queen for the longest monarch in British history, because she started so young, because when her father died, and now she's so old. To get back to you guys. So yeah, I'm working on it, Chrono. Time's a wasting. All right. Ooh, more cats. Welcome to the Millennial Fair. I will have fun. What's Lean's bell? Where is it? Karate gi or a bronze helm? I have 200 G. Or I have 600? I have 600, so I had 400 to start. Let's not buy anything yet. Let's see what these guys have first. Anyway, so he loved a comment of mine, which I told you why I thought that was funny. And the comment was about thanking him for approving. I can probably just go find it. Hold on a second here, because I'm gonna pause this. Okay. Thanks for approving my response. I'm looking forward to being more involved with this zany place. So this was 2006 that I made this comment, and this was just when Pilot TV was starting. I had been to Japan already with Vinnk, so this was like after the summer, so it must have been like in the fall. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was, because of where I was living. It was my apartment in Madison, my first apartment in Madison that I had on my own. And I was starting my vlog post, trying to figure out what I was going to do with YouTube, while all the other Pilot guys were making their shows and stuff already. And so the response I'm referring to him approving was a video response. And I don't know if you know what a video response on YouTube is, but it was amazing. And in fact, the video I was responding to was a video called "Who Are You?" Who, you know, like the song. Wait, what did I say sure to? Shoot. All right, I could buy a Schwad or another Schwad. All right. Can I equip anything right now? How do I... Oh, X button. Oh, it's the save files. No weapon. Oh, I have a wood sword. Hide cap, hide tunic, bandana. Lightning. Okay. So the video was like, you know, who are you? Who are the people who watch YouTube? Why are you here? Because it was very new at the time. And he was doing some interesting stuff in the space, which is why I had subscribed to him. Like a lot of those early YouTubers, like him. I mentioned Wine Cone in there, who like if like TikTok were a thing right now, he'd be pro ZD basically. Like Sun One started on shoot, I forgot what it was called already. What was the progenitor to TikTok? I keep wanting to say Line, but that's not it. Shoot, oh my god. Anyway, that's where he got his start, and then like TikTok like became the new whatever that was. don't have any silver points yet. Oh, who else? Sprocket24, Karen Alloy, I couldn't think of her name. And she disappeared after a while. So he asked for video replies to this. It was like, he wanted, because he thinks it was such a cool feature. So I made one. I made a highly edited one because I was trying to like get something ready for Powit and like practice my editing chops and scripting and all that stuff. And so I went through the reply feature where you could pick a video from your channel and then the person approves it. Now some people set it up where they didn't have to approve those. And back in the day before YouTube's suggestion algorithm was all the rage, that was a really good way to get your video noticed. Because those came up at the bottom of any particular video that you were watching. And so if you were like me, what you would do is you'd make a video and then you'd like go around YouTube and you would find a video and try and make it a reply, hoping that the person didn't have approval turned on so it would just show up. And you could do that on as many videos as you wanted. I don't think you were limited to just one video to one reply. So I think that's how Powit got its start, was by judiciously using that feature, not abusing, I don't think, but by using that feature to get more visibility. And this is like before they had ads. This is before they had 10-minute videos. There was a director's program that ran out of mentions in the video, but you had to have certain qualifications to get in. And I certainly hadn't been having enough output to ever do that. So for the most part, I think that's what people expected YouTube to be, was like a video repository. Like it wasn't like a community-based, like here I am having a conversation with you, have a conversation with me back, which I still think is a cool feature and something that TikTok does pretty well, where you can do a duet, with people like willy-nilly. I think that's great. So that's why I think that's why TikTok is so incredible and amazing now, is because of community features like that. So I really do feel like TikTok is what YouTube could have been, and I'm very sad for the loss of that. Ooh. Ouch, that hurt. And she's gonna, oh, it rang. She lost her pendant and she's too dumb to see it. I can see it. I swear to God I turned off that alarm twice now. Anyway. Vine, yes, thank you. Thank you, Alexa. Vine is what I was thinking of, not Line, but Vine. I made some Vines back in the day. I think I have them all saved now. Yep, you couldn't respond to a video response. Well, what you could do is you could go to, I guess I'll give her back her pendant. Yeah. There are two gentlemen. You are not a lady. I'm not a gentleman either, so it's fine. Marley? Someone who's played this game, tell me how you say her name. So yeah, you can't like reply to a reply like on that person's video, but people could go to your video and reply to it. And you can manage your own replies there. What a nice name. What if you got to like change your name every time? Like you could lie to somebody about what your name is and they'll call you different things. And then when they finally catch on, it's like, wait a minute, I thought your name was Jim Bob. No silver points. I don't want to exchange stupid points. Okay, so this is where I screwed up last time, guys, is I would just grab this stuff and be like, apparently I'm not supposed to do that. If you steal from here, then bad things happen, I guess. Okay, so I'm not going to fight the robot yet. I'm going to get some stuff. I got 600 schmigadoons. Oh, so Vinnk shared with me some news. So I'm sorry that we're behind on the Two Boobs Watch the Tube podcast. We do have a new episode up right now as of yesterday, and we also have a new Famicom Dojo podcast up. They are very old. We recorded them and we live streamed them months ago. So we're trying to catch up. I'm very sorry it's taking so long. Well, I guess the new computer thing isn't an excuse because I got that last year. But like the camera thing, I've just had a lot of problems. So things are getting back to normal and I'm trying to stay on the schedule now. But so as we're trying to talk about what we're going to record next, Vinnk let me know that Schmigadoon did get a season 2, which is wild because I'm pretty sure that thing was meant to be a movie, or at least a TV movie. Because it's built like a movie, you know? Kind of like the Pentaveret, which we should definitely talk about sometime. All right. Oh, I could have sold him the pendant. Interesting. Okay, I'm glad I didn't. I got a friend instead. And aren't friends really worth it in the end? All right. Was that a good decision? I don't know. We're just gonna go with it. Come by and see me sometime. All right. I don't think she would say yes, but I did try. Karate Gi, I don't have. How much more defense would I get? Oh, it's telling me. So either one of those would give me the same amount of increase? Seems weird. All right, so let's... It's not much of an increase in stuff. Well, she uses bows and I can't really... Hide tunic, accessories, or ribbon. God, can I save? I can't save here. Maybe that's why I didn't, what I can do. I forgot that I could do that. Schmigadoon. Also, Acapulco's getting a second season, so we're going to update the metadata on our feed and our streams and stuff to say Acapulco season 1 instead of just Acapulco, because kind of want to make that clear. But anyway, I was talking about Renetto and YouTube. So I shared the video that was my response. Sorry, I shared the video that he commented on so you guys can watch it. You can't see what the video response was. I've been meaning to make it a comment on the post of that video that I shared on the SeanOrange channel, but I can't do it from my phone. I mean, what is the point of that social feature if YouTube isn't gonna make it easy to use? I have metal joints. When I have her, she can help me. Ouch. Oh, that hurts. Oh, she's almost dead. Oh, she is dead. Oh, boy. Or maybe not? Woo! That was way easier than the first time I did it. I lost so many times. That was fun. So, you know what I could do with these save states is I could make different decisions and play different games. That's an idea. I'll try and do a good playthrough. Yeah, I have screenshots of my YouTube channel where the whole thing was orange and stuff. Like, it, you know, this is before Web 2.0, so like it was very 90s looking still. And it had like the 3-star rating, the 5-star rating system as opposed to the likes and dislikes thing. All just different kinds of stuff. It was a very different place back then. So anyway, if you go to the SeanOrange channel, there's a pro vlog, or you search for it. There's like a pro vlog, because it's like a pro vlog that I did. That was a video response to Renetto. And so there's some very early Famicom Dojo-ish type tropey things that you'll see in there, because that's around the time I was developing the idea for the show. Candy. Good Lord. Give her a minute. Fine. So it's so embarrassing though. Like it's still not great, but my diction at the time was awful. It was before I was podcasting and doing a lot of the videos and stuff, like very mealy-mouthed talker. So I still have that problem, but it's much better. All right, now, does she have any health back? Oh, she does. Fascinating. No, she doesn't. Ouch. No, I don't either. Ow! Jerk! Ah! Come on now. There we go. Ooh, I got a level up. Did I get, So I'd grind more, but I don't know how to heal without stealing that food. So I have 83 max HP now. Oops. And Marl, I'm just going to call her Marl, has 76. My attack's better and my defense is a little better. 20 time is 23, what, 23 minutes? Have I been playing that long? So sorry, everyone. I didn't, yeah, I do have more experience now, but I did not sound all right. Like, it's very cringy. I just have a hard time listening to myself in that video. And there were some good ideas, some good editing ideas. Some of the jokes fell flat because they were very in-jokey. Some of the editing was very bad. My favorite part though was where I addressed Renetto's concern that people seemed like they were too fake. And you know, in these live streams, I can't edit myself. So I just got to go with it. And this is good practice for that kind of thing, right? But on these, I would also, sorry, these being the edited videos, like I could have done better or like reshot things or whatnot. But like, so I had this joke about how I was editing myself to seem more authentic. And I knew ahead of time I was going to edit it. So there, right? I knew ahead of time I was going to edit it. That's better. Edit it, edit it, edit it. Like, what does that even mean? Edit it. Edit it. English is hard. Talking is hard. So yeah. YouTube, man, it's a very different place now, and I mourn the thing that it was, but, you know, if I really want to, if I cared enough, I could go to TikTok or whatever, but I don't care enough, you know? That's her dad, huh? Check out that girl's glasses. Check out the backside of the moon with those. Is it because they're so thick? Get it? Lucas inventions never work right. No one wants to try it. I would love to try it. I'm sure this will be fine. Nothing bad will happen at all. I mean, I guess it's all in the practice too, right? Like if you don't like the way you sound, you can just work at it. All right. Sure, can I try on this side, or is it gonna... I'll go to this side. So because of Strange New Worlds, I've been watching a lot of the original series, Star Trek, the original series. I think I've mentioned some of this before about Strange New Worlds itself, but between that, between the new Nerd and Tie podcast show called Casual Trek, where they're going to embark on rating all of the Trek shows ever, like all the episodes. They did their first one on the pilots of the first 3 shows, so the original series, the Next Generation, and Deep Space Nine. And I just remember I don't know where Deep Space Nine ended up, or where those 3 ended up, but I can tell you for sure that The Cage was by default the best show because it was the only one on the list, and that was also the worst. But then Encounter at Farpoint took last place. But there being only 2 shows, it was also in second place. And so I don't know where they ended up putting The Emissary. I have to go back and listen to the end of that. So between talking to Miles, who was host of one of the shows, and other, like, just wanting to rewatch the original series, like I watched Balance of Terror. I watched The Menagerie because Menagerie has Pike in it. And then after listening to his podcast, I actually got a sneak peek of it. I'm not saying that to brag, I'm saying that to explain why I was watching so much Star Trek. I ended up watching Encounter at Farpoint myself, and I was also watching the motion pictures. There's like a lot of stuff on Paramount Plus now. And I watched all the motion picture. Because I was talking with Phil Bond about Enterprises. So complete aside now, Eagle Moss is, or rather was, aka Hero Collector, would make these model ships. And, just a second. Shame. All right, so Eagle Moss, I'm gonna actually pop into this view. So Eagle Moss makes these models, and they make different sizes and everything. And so I went. They were having a sale that they're advertising on Facebook, so I bought the Enterprise from Strange New Worlds, which is actually the model from Discovery. Spoilers: the Enterprise shows up in Discovery, and also the Discovery itself. And then as soon as I placed the order, and I told Phil about it, and he placed his own order, apparently there was this like bankruptcy filing or something, or this filing that indicated that we're going to go under, have some kind of financial trouble. And then we were both very concerned we were going to get our orders. But, space, the final frontier. And the Discovery, which is very gold. I wasn't expecting that. Like, I was expecting that from the pictures, but I wasn't expecting it from like before I saw the pictures, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. So what's fascinating to me about both of these things is that there's some die cast in them, but it's mostly plastic. And I have an Eagle Moss model of the Enterprise NX-01 from the Star Trek Enterprise series, which is about the same size as this, so the scale is wrong. But the Discovery, if you don't know the history behind this, is actually based on the Ralph McQuarrie, what's his name? A concept for the refit of the Enterprise in the motion picture. They ended up not using it, but they, how many decades later they got this guy. I was actually supposed to bring these to work. That was the original intent of buying them, because I knew I was going back into the office. And since I haven't been in the office for the last week, aren't you glad that I didn't do that? Especially because I wasn't planning on talking about it. But anyway, back to the game.
Shame.
So I watched the motion picture because Phil and I got to talking about the refit and all the different models and stuff, and also the interiors, because I remembered that they used the same bridge set for the first 3 films, and then they didn't really have it in the 4th one. But that's when the Enterprise A got introduced, which was the same as the refit on the exterior. And I'm like, do they have the set still? And I wasn't sure, so I popped in Star Trek 4. Well, I popped it in, I say, but I watched it on Paramount Plus. And I have 30 silver points, right? Yeah. Oh, you can turn them into gold. So I can, okay. Well, if I can like heal, maybe I'll keep doing that and grind. That's a good idea. Ooh. All right. Buy 10 heals. Okay, and then I'll trade in 20 gold coins for 100 G. Hold on a second, before I make that mistake. How do I use it? Can I use it? Oh no! Do I have to be in battle? Where's what's-her-face? Where'd she go? No! Was it too busy talking and I lost her? Well, there she is. Oh, don't let her try it. She's gonna... This is where it goes bad, right? Gee, that's a lot of money. Nice, nice pun. Oh, she's more independent. Yeah. Whoopsie doodles. All right. Let's do this. Let's do this instead. I already have it? Okay. Where am I? I'm supposed to go up and then left. So anyway, I popped in Star Trek 4, because I remember Star Trek 5, they have a different bridge set, and as to why, I'll get into that in a second. But I popped in Star Trek 4, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to see. And it's definitely the original set. This is 1986 that Star Trek 4 came out. They hadn't used the set. I guess it was only 2 or 4 years later. When did 79, 82, 84, 86, I think? So it had been 2 years. It didn't look good. They had it for just the one shot. It did not look good. So hold on, let's focus on the battle here. Ah! It's not how it went before. Hey! I didn't shoot you, she did. There we go, and I got my critical. Oh yeah, Velcro pants, you know it. So yeah. Now, as to why they didn't have the same set for the next movie is that Star Trek: The Next Generation came along in '87. So, like, the original, so much history. The original motion picture film for which they built this new set was originally supposed to be for Star Trek Phase 2, which they never ended up making. Oh, getting hurt real bad. Ah! Dink! There we go. The first one I tuned into, like the one that started this conversation, Strange New Worlds. So watching Strange New Worlds got me to watch the original series, some of the original series episodes, just in general, and also ones that related to the show, like the Menagerie. Which, Menagerie, by the way, is another word for cage, and Pike says both of those things in the pilot. So, you know what's the same, though? Like, Pike's hair and his swoop in the Menagerie is very reminiscent of what they do for Strange New Worlds. So, very, very good. Anyway, so Next Generation comes along, borrows a lot of ideas from Star Trek Phase 2 because actual characters that they had used on the original Enterprise, because it was supposed to be like another 5-year mission on the same ship originally, with a different cast. Some of those characters got used in motion picture and were never seen again. Although watching again, I did appreciate that there were a lot of original crew members. So you had Nurse Chapel, who's now a doctor, and McCoy even kind of grumbles about that. So you see Majel Barrett sans the blonde wig doing doctor things throughout the film. Like, she is actually in a lot of it and has lines. I don't remember her outside of one scene, but she's actually quite present. She ends up being like the ship's doctor, more or less. McCoy is still like the chief surgeon, but she's, you know, he has a staff and she's on it. And there's also Yeoman Rand, who was a transporter technician. In fact, like, if you watch the motion picture, that very like famous scene of like the shuttle pod going around the ship for that inspection, that wasn't intentional. Like, it was intentional in the film, but Kirk actually beams onto a pad on the space dock, and he has an immediate comment to Scotty about how the transporters on the Enterprise aren't working yet. But that could have been a lie that Scotty said just so he can give him the grand tour of the refit, but also, you know, the audience too. So even if it like wasn't a lie, oh boy, I'm gonna, hold on a second. So he's called gato, which is like a cat in Spanish for cat. My heel didn't work. Maybe heel doesn't do what I thought it does. Never gonna get through this game if I keep talking about Star Trek and not paying attention to what I'm doing. So, anyway, so that they tour the whole thing, and then they're on the Enterprise and try and beam aboard the new science officer, who's also a Vulcan, and some other random person. And it doesn't go well. Rand's the one on the controls when this goes down. And so it's like a twofer. Like, it's an excuse not to be on the Enterprise. It's also an excuse to kill some of the characters that were meant for Phase 2. And, well, anyway. Tonic is what I wanted. Tonic. Okay. Probably should have read the descriptions, huh? So, anyway, Next Generation comes along, and it's like, well, they can keep the motion picture sets because they're still making Star Trek films. Like, Star Trek 5 comes out in '99, Star Trek 6, which is the last original series cast film, came out in '91, so there was no stopping them. But as it turns out, they reused the set, and I remembered this, and I'm like, I don't remember what the battle bridge looks like, but I'm pretty sure, because Phil and I were talking about like the battle bridge, or I had listened to the casual Trek episode already, so it might have been both things that led me to watch Encounter at Farpoint. And then sure enough, I go to the battle bridge. It's very much a redressed motion picture stage. And I don't know how often they use the battle bridge after that, but when they go to Star Trek 5, they redressed it again. Like, I don't even know if it's the same set. It doesn't look a whole lot like the motion picture set. Like, there's like updated display panels. Like, they have all this new tech and money from the TV show, right? And in fact, I think what started the conversation is that there are a lot of reused Next Generation sets in those films. The most infamous one to me being the dining room in Star Trek 6 is the Ready Room from Next Generation, which they were still using at the time. So they had to like redress it. And like, you know, you have like the Star Trek original series actors come in one day, and you have like the Next Generation people come in the next day, and it was wild. I don't want your candy. All right. Yep, I'm gonna try and leave again. All right. In case, Alexia, your question was, which is the first one I ever saw? I definitely saw the original series before Next Generation even aired. And I'm sure I watched the animated series from time to time as well. I remember the giant Spock episode, for instance. Oh, no, not ready. Okay. Do I even have my sword equipped? Now that I don't, do I? Oh, I do. Okay. So anyway, that kind of solved that mystery, but like this is all connected, right? Like the ships came about, we were talking about that, how much like we liked the refit. He also got the Discovery refit from season 4. 3? 4. Can't remember when they did the refit. It might have been in season 3 actually. But people were confused about this, and even like the people who like run Star Trek and should know better. All right, so that's 50. That's gonna more than do it. Ow! Jerk. Yeah, I was in first grade, or I was going into first grade. Kindergarten? Because the show aired in 87. First grade. I was going into first grade when Next Generation aired, and it was like on cereal boxes and stuff. I think it was specifically on a Cheerios box. I had some of the toys. My uncle had to send us tapes that he taped off the air because it wasn't airing in our market. Like that's how sketchy a new Star Trek show after 20 years was. So something to watch Encounter at Farpoint in totality. Yeah, and then I just started watching the the original series, season 1. And I got my dad talking about it too. So like my dad's the reason I'm into Star Trek. Like the reason I was able to watch so much of it back in the day was because he was subscribed to like this like Columbia House for TV shows thing, and he was able to buy tapes. There was like one episode of tape, you know, which you could probably fit 2. And in fact, I think Next Generation did have 2 on there. Ooh, uh-oh. Whoop, item. Uh-oh. Is she frozen? Okay. 10 experience points, 1 tech point. So like I had those tapes were numbered, and so like I could tell you an episode name based on the number back in the day. That's how into it I was, and I could still kind of generally tell you a little bit. But he reminded me actually that the Menagerie, like it was deliberately made off the pilot, but the reason is because they initially had a 16 episode order at NBC, and they're running out of ideas. So those were the last 2 episodes. Was they made that framing device around the cage, and they were able to get like write part of one episode and use like another one basically. So they only had to like not even write 1 episode to get 2. It was very smart. But that's also what really established the cage and the characters, and also Spock as lieutenant under Pike, like a decade past. Oh. Which wouldn't have happened if had it not been for that episode. So apparently, though, afterwards they liked the show enough that they ordered 14 more for a total of, I think, 30. Yeah, I think it was 30. So it was 14 more. So that's why season 1 is so long compared to other TV shows, which is usually around 26 for a season, 24, 26, 22 sometimes. So that's why there's like 78, 79 episodes if you count The Cage. I don't recall if the Menagerie came on 2 tapes or not. It might have been just one. Like one double long or whatever. The version that's on Paramount Plus is actually the remastered version. So all the special effects, or at least the space effects, have been redone. And if I remember, at least in the case of Next Generation, that was a necessary thing because all of the effects, at least on the earlier seasons, had been done on the videotape. So you couldn't upscale that. Like Star Trek was filmed, right? So filmed because it's not like digitized, not like a pixel based. You could just like blow up the projection on the film and get higher resolutions with it. So depending on if they did film special effects, that would work, and I think in some cases they did, or they might have reconstituted them based on the original stuff. But like The Cage, for instance, the only elements originally that were in color were the ones that were used in the Menagerie, and every other piece of it was like from fans or whatever, like black and white film. So I think they must have either found that stuff, or if it was gone, they must have colorized it later, because the version of The Cage on Paramount is all in color. I'm gonna at least get to level 3 before I move on. So I'm up to episode 25, and on Paramount Plus, they're in airing order. So not in production order like I think the Columbia House tapes were. Which is very off-putting because the first episode is the Man Trap, which doesn't do a good job of introducing everybody. Like, it kind of assumes you know who everyone is already. Oop, whoop, 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 whoop. I was not paying attention. So, where no one or no man has gone before is the second pilot, and that was like 5th. I don't remember. Like there were like 2 or 3 or 4 episodes that were very much done first, and you can tell because like Uhura's uniform is weird. Am I dead again? Yep. Uhura's uniform looks weird. Like Spock's uniform looks weird in some cases. Everyone's uniform looks weird because they haven't quite settled down on it yet. There's a lot more interesting like camera moves and a little more exposition about who everyone is in those earlier episodes, but those aren't the ones that they start with. So it's neat. It's neat, but it's also very strange and off-putting when like, you watch the ones that were clearly produced later, but then it just kind of jumps around. The quality just like goes up and goes down and goes up and goes down. So All right. Level up. What are we at? Level 3, 73 out of 96. 50 out of 87. That's pretty good. Do I need 70 more or just need 10 more? It feels like 70 more is right. Right, I'm gonna go through it one more time. So I got tons of notes. I could talk about the original series forever. I want to talk about it on Two Boobs Watch the Two, but Vinnk hasn't watched it, and asking him to watch 30 episodes is kind of a lot. So we'll probably talk about ones we have both seen. I mean, he's seen the show before, but it's been a long time, and like I'm finding that I'm like learning a lot or remembering a lot that I hadn't, I had previously forgotten, basically. Or had not realized because I wasn't an adult at the time. I didn't catch things or wasn't as interested in things. So very much getting a lot more out of it this time, but that was a lot faster. All right, let's see. So did my next go down 10 points? Like I need experience 70, next 60. Did those flip? Yeah, they did. So my experience was 60 and next, so I need 60 more, so I do need 130 total. All right, so we'll leave it there, and then we'll just move on. Oh, I mean, what else I could do is I could grind and get that sword. Which I won't make you guys watch that. What's the exchange rate? Hold on. It was like 10 silver points for 50. So I need 800 silver points. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Let's exchange all of them except 5, I guess. So I can always get more. Yeah. I am getting to the point where I don't want to watch any more original series, not because I don't like them, but I just want to do something else for a while. There's like a lot of notes I'm taking too. But the bent I'm going with is that continuity in Star Trek is pointless. Like, especially if you're too concerned about, I'm gonna buy some more tonics. I only have 3. You got 10 more. Gonna revive. Probably gonna need that at some point. Oh, do I need anything else? Karate gi. Yeah, I'll buy that. Improve my defense. She also has a hide tunic. All right, let's fight a little bit more while I chat with y'all. Oh, goodness, what else? The writers went on strike. Yeah, on one hand, I've been enjoying the shorter runs on TV. So like 10 is like the new streaming era TV standard. Like 24 is of something is a lot, especially they're like hour-long shows. Like Farscape is like that. Lost was like that until they went down to 16, which was like unheard of back in the day. It was also unheard of to like deliberately end your show. But or like, you know, not make it year after year. Like you can't go back. Like if you stop making your show is over forever, unless you're X-Files, or unless like you can't just go back to it every once in a while, like say Red Dwarf does or whatever. Like you gotta keep that gravy train rolling. That's just how it's done in America. It has something to do with contracts and probably sound stages and who knows what else. But didn't get my second hit. I was hoping I would. 12 is an okay defense. 9, that's not great. Is he getting stronger too? Hardly seems fair. So I need to watch other TV shows for the Two Boobs Watch the Tube podcast. Ones that Vinnk has seen or ones that, you know, there's just more to do, basically. So I really want to do Star Trek, the original series, because I think it'd be really topical and really fun. But yeah, there's so much that they didn't have ironed out in the show originally, that they went back on even within that first season, or at least by the second run of the first season, they started like refining things a bit more. And so if you're going to take everything at face value, you're going to be, you would have to adhere to some really weird ideas, basically. And I don't think that's wise. So to the extent that, say, like engineering in Strange New Worlds doesn't look right, or that certain characters are around or their relationships are a little bit different than you might see in the original series, I really don't care. On the other hand, I'm really kind of pleased to see that certain details that I thought were like new things, like the doctors on Strange New Worlds and Discovery before that, having like the cross, like the Red Cross kind of design on their insignia badge, was a new thing totally for Discovery. In fact, if you look at Nurse Chapel, she has a very red cross on her uniform. Ooh. So, even though McCoy doesn't. So, like, any inch you can get, basically, seems fine, honestly. Especially because people are going to argue, even if they shouldn't. Hi, Satoshi. Sean is talking about Star Trek, the original series. Ooh, she learned a thing. Dual Tech Aura Whirl. Oh, we got magic now. Well, if that's what's at stake, I'm gonna grind some more. I'm not gonna get enough money to buy that sword, but I might level up my equipment. So I think that's enough Star Trek talk for now. I want to save some for the actual podcast whenever we do it. Hopefully soon. Vinnk can't watch Strange New Worlds, which is he wants to, but it's a much easier lift because it's only 10 episodes. And the kind of nice thing about streaming television is that episodes are as long or as short as they need to be. Like, you don't have to fill an hour if you don't have an hour of story to tell. Or if you have more than that, you can do more. Like the For All Mankind finale was like an hour and 15 minutes, I want to say. Hour and 20, somewhere around there. Or like Stranger Things. Like, even though that those were like almost feature films in a lot of episodes cases, like, I don't see how you break them down anymore. And I didn't feel like they went by too slowly. So I think Strange New Worlds is a little bit like that, where like some episodes were like closer to an hour. Because like with them, especially in the modern era, like when you have all those, the commercials were eating into the runtime. So shows were like 42 minutes after a while, where the original Star Trek was like 51. That was like 10 more minutes of show you could have gotten, or at least had the option to. So now in streaming, like you can have, hour-long finales. You can have like a half-hour episode if that's all you really need for that particular story. But yeah. You're too far away to counterattack. Fine. All right, I think that's enough. Yeah, I'm watching the original series again. I'm also talking about a podcast, like one that I want to do because I am watching the show. But also, there's a new Nerd and Tie show about watching Star Trek, where they're going to rank all the episodes. Run by my buddy Miles and one of his other British buddies. So it's good. I would recommend listening to it. We put the trailer in our Two Boobs Watch the Tube feed, and the first episode will also be in our feed next week. But you can just subscribe to their feed directly now. It's going to be a good show, I think. They have a lot of interesting insight and a lot of deep pull references. Oh, excuse me. Another thing I've been doing is listening to. I ended up going down a music rabbit hole recently. I actually made a Facebook post about it too. But I ran across this like mega mix of songs from 1984. And I was around then. That's the year I turned 4 years old. So I'm sure I heard those songs like around then and long after. But like I knew all or most of like the 32 or 33 songs that were in this mega mix, and it encouraged me to like write down a few, because my idea is like I would like to have some songs I could play like acoustically and just like go out somewhere and just like sing and play a whole bunch, which is going to take a lot of time to practice up to, but I want to find ones that really interest me. And this is a good way to mine that content and be like, all right, which ones do I really want to dig into? So like I took like 6 of them out of that I thought were really interesting, and I did a long Facebook post about it. But there's stuff in there like Hall and Oates, not Holland Oates, like Quaker Oats, Holland Oates. Kind of like my edit it thing. I said, oh, Satoshi missed that. But talking about my diction and all that. Yeah, The Alternate Factor I just watched, and it made me want to stop. I remember liking that one a lot more as a kid, but man, like, is the friggin' makeup on Lazarus just bad. It is not good. I only have 440G? 80 times 8 times 50. 400. Oh, I didn't have that much left to begin with, so that's 400. That's not bad. Oh, I can run? Oh my god, okay. Get a bronze helm. Get it from Wa. Oh, it's 5 more. That's good. Now what I want to do is to heal myself. But I know like a lot of games didn't allow you to do that. Oh! Well, now it lets me. Had to push A twice, apparently. I thought I did that a bunch of times, but apparently I didn't. What does this guy have? Oh, he's the one that sells the swords, right? What does this guy have? You be quiet and watch. Don't talk to me that way, jerk. Ah, all right, I'm gonna fight the guy one more time so I can spend points there. And I'll run to make it a little faster. So, Hall and Oates was on the list. Huey Lewis in the News, I Want a New Drug. The Hall and Oates song in particular that was on the list was, uh-oh. I wrote it down. All right, so I'll just go through the list. Self-Control by Laura Branigan, who I don't know by name at all. I know that song. It's got this like disco-ish funk beat to it. Take my self-control. And it's got this like, this awesome driving guitar, which I didn't remember at all. Like this. So I sat there trying to figure out what those chords were. It's C sharp minor, I think, or F sharp minor and C sharp minor. Just a wild decision. And then, like, as I dug into it more to get the rest of those chords figured out, I realized that, hold on, let me use my tonic. The chord progression is very similar to like the key of A, which has an F sharp minor in it as the 6th. What's that called? The degree? I don't know. C sharp is not in that, but I think C sharp is in an F sharp minor progression. So so a lot of the same chords are available there, although it has a B instead of an A, I think. That's still in the F sharp minor scale. Ooh, there's some more stuff over here. Did I even go over here yet? Rude. Okay. Oh, I'll find a cat. Let's do it. $16 shot, baby! All right. Ooh, there's more up here. Oh, I remember doing this before. X, Y, L, and R. X, Y, L, R. X, Y, L, R. Okay. Eleanor just make me giggle and look scared. All right. Oh. Let's find that cat. Show. Break My Stride by Matthew Wilder. No one's gonna. Ain't no one gonna break my stride. Ain't no one gonna slow me down. That one. Wanted to Drag by Huey Lewis in the News. That's got some great guitar in it too. Like, so good that the guy knows it and does this really crazy extended solo at the beginning and in the middle of the song if you ever watch it live. Get the cat. Get it. Can I get the cat? I can't. Oh, I didn't vote in time. Spine tingling show, eh? I'll spend 10 points. Vix, Wedge, and Piet. Wait, Vix and Wedge, are they from this game? Is this what I'm thinking of when I've heard that before? Or Vix and Wedge from, like, Final Fantasy? Oh, are they from Star Wars? I wasn't watching. Oh. Farts. Let's try that again. Vix, Wedge, Piet. Piozadol, all right. Whatever that means. Feels like a good thing, though. Oh, I'm out of points, though, and I wanted to buy more. I should have some money left. All right, now we're going to go and progress in the plot after an hour and a half of this. So sorry, everyone. You didn't come for the game, though, right? My favorite season 1 episode. Did the video freeze? Sorry, I didn't notice. Oh, God. Hold on. Let me look up the name of the episodes. Like, I should have these all memorized because I used to have all 79 memorized, but I don't think I do anymore. What I especially love about this app is that I'm on the 28th episode. Is that it makes it hard to get to the series page from anywhere. Yeah, so Yeoman Rand left the show. And she was kind of a powerhouse. Like, she was very prominently featured. Like, she should have been like a main cast player. Really. And Devil in the Dark, that's what I thought it was called, The Devil in the Dark. That's one of my favorites. Because of like the science stuff in it. Like, it's possible for there to be carbon-based or silicon-based life. Like, you know, some of the same chemicals can get formed and stuff, but it's very unstable. They even mentioned, like, in the presence of oxygen, it's not very stable at all, as a matter of fact. And oxygen, and given that water is very prevalent in the universe, or at least in our solar system, it means oxygen is prevalent through many processes. There's electrical ones, and there's also other reactions, fire, obviously. But Satoshi, did you notice that the sound is better this time? I had this Logitech dongle that I shelved so I could use my USB port and just use the onboard jack, but it's apparently not working great, or hasn't been working great. So there's some software thing going on with it, I'm pretty sure. Chrono, where have you been? Shoot, I think I forgot to save. I'll just do it now. Anyway, back to the music. So I wanted to drop by Huey Lewis in the News, which has a really great guitar part. It's really good. Although most of it's in the horns, actually, and in the solos. So it's not just that bit. It worked? Now she wants to try it. Okay. So she's got a very WashU vibe about her. Jeez, Luca. Or, oh, that's who she reminds me of. Did you guys watch the She-Ra show, the new one? I can't remember her name. But the one sciencey princess, she sounds like WashU. I don't think it's the same actor, but I think she was definitely inspired by the WashU voice. Oh no, that's such a good call out. Ah, Jeepers Creepers. Anyway. Radio Gaga by Queen, Caribbean Queen by Billy Ocean. Caribbean Queen, now we're sharing the same dream. I wouldn't sing it like that. I'd probably have to pick a different key. Out of Touch by Hall & Oates. You're out of touch, I'm out of time. But I'm out of my head when you're not around. Unit of the Snake by Duran Duran, which is a song I didn't even know that's what the name of it was. They said it during the song. But, you know, the chorus goes, the union of the snake is on the climb. It's also one where, like, the harmonies on that are like the line I think of when I think of that song, but the lead vocal is not like that. And The Owner of a Lonely Heart by Yes. So those are the ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 songs that I picked out of there that I wanted to, like, see if I liked any of those enough to try. Ooh, there it goes. Pendant's there. She's gone. And there's a portal to another time. I mean, I guess I could sell the pendant now. Probably shouldn't do that. But anyway, so like I had that going on. I ended up there were like a lot of Facebook reels, and there were some I wanted to see, but whenever like I do find them, I'm not supposed to watch them at that particular time because I'm like busy. And so I was trying to find one, but you can't really search for reels on Facebook. Are they even called reels? I think they're called reels. Guess I'm going too. What a fine lad. Guess I can't sell it. So oh, Shatner found out his dad died during Devil in the Dark? Oh. And Spock improvised the pain? Oh, geez, what a good friend. Too bad that Shatner was not very nice to Nimoy. Oh, and you mentioned that next, yeah. Someone get this man some ass. Yeah, Shatner is not... That's a nice effect. I like that. I think it's too overlaid effect, it looks like. Cool. All right. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Ooh, baby. You know what I like. Only 5? Well, good thing I got all that armor and stuff. Ooh, yeah, look at that. So that's one of my favorites. Balance of Terror is a classic. I just don't know if I like it all that much. I mean, I understand it's supposed to be like a submarine-based whatever, and then like Strange New Worlds had its own take on that. Oh boy. I want to fight those birds. Yeah, baby. Do I have any tech power? Ooh, yeah. Probably shouldn't have used that, but oh well. Two tech points. Aw, yeah. One tonic. Just in case I wasn't smart enough to buy them before I came back to the past, that's going to help me out a lot. But I play lots of games, so I knew enough to... I love the Power Glove. Is it Marla? Is that what? Oh, they're playing with the slime. No, it's not a slime. What is he? So Balance of Terror I watched again. And like it was very interesting to me initially, like Spock's mindset during that. First of all, that's the episode where we find out, well, they introduced the Romulans, but it's also the ones that where we find out and people on the show find out canonically what Romulans look like. They look just like Spock, and he is surprised with this. Now, my memory of that is that he knew and just didn't tell people. But I think I retconned that later because I think it's been implied, or at least outright stated maybe, that like Vulcans knew that Romulans had left, and that they just didn't tell anybody. Or maybe Spock didn't know because he wouldn't have been privy to that. That's possible too. But I'm surprised by his attitude. It's like, you know, we got to attack them. Especially because as I watched more of the show later, that's not his attitude. Like in the second run for the first season, he's very much against attacking first and like the rights of sentient creatures. And this happens at least twice. Jerk. What did he say? Guardia. Idle Magus' army. Oh, I don't want to go through it again. I don't make me. Shut your pie hole. Who's this guy? Cathedral. They found her. Never mind. Cathedral, huh? Okie dokie. So yeah, Spock is very much against that. And there's even an episode where it's like they are stopped from fighting. I think it's where they introduced the Klingons, actually. It's just... Ooh. Did I buy an Iron Blade? I have one equipped. Bronze Helm. I have one. Tonic, Heal, Revive. I don't want anything. I don't have a lot of money anyway. Ooh. There's a chest here. Let me at it! Oh. Residence. So... here's what I'm thinking. Again, this is like a characterization thing, I'm sure. Like, they might have made adjustments to Spock's character afterwards. But at the time, anyway, I was thinking how very much it was like the Vulcan Hello, which is the Discovery pilot. About how the Vulcans, knowing what the Klingons were like, attacked first, basically without mercy, because that's what... There's the bell. This is the Queen's bell that I heard get rung. Rung her bell. Ring her bell. Bridge is out. Go to the cathedral. Thought they were ghosted first, but no, they're sisters, I bet. Peace in the world. Tee-hee. Yes, let's make fun of peace in the world. Organ recital. Yeah, okay, I was about to say the organ recital sounds like a meal, and now I'm pretty sure they want to eat me. Yeah. Oh, brother. Yeah, let's say this before I go anywhere. Oh. This place is weird. Oh, I just saw a subscription thing come through. Hold on a second, everyone. Shame. All right. Howdy, y'all. Wife called. She's off doing the thing that I can't do right now. But I'll hopefully be able to do tomorrow. I'm going to take my COVID test, and then we'll see if I'm good. And then I can hang out with people. Oh, if you weren't here at the top of the show, I got exposed at work. So I've been feeling fine the last several days, but I'm working from home. So I'm just going to take my test, and if I'm clear, then I'm good. So anyway, I noticed it's a 600 AD. There's this world map I can push select. Can't go to the southern continent, so that's a bummer. All right. Yeah, I liked this side of Paradise too, because you get to see Spock be like emotional and give in to the stuff that he can't, especially because I thought that there was a lot more like Spock and Nurse Chapel stuff, but it was like literally just in naked time so far. Which, speaking of Next Generation, I was going to watch Naked Now because that was the second episode after Encounter at Farpoint 1 and 2. And then I'm like, I should really watch Naked Time first to get context, because they referenced that episode in the Next Generation one. Although I had forgotten that the reference was that the cure they had found for the virus didn't work because it had mutated. But it's not a virus, so how did it mutate anyway? But that was also the first time you got to see Spock being emotional at all. And his insistence in these episodes that Vulcans have purged emotion, but he's very much emotional. So they just control them, right? So that was already like a bit of a lie. And then, what's her face? Ah! I forget the character's name. She's a botanist, that's what I remember. It says, like, I know that you want your comrades to think that you don't have feelings, but I know better, kind of thing. So, like, it was nice to see that, I guess. But as Trey said in a post I made about it, not about this episode in particular, but just like Spock and how like he and Chapel interact in Strange New Worlds and so on and so forth. His response to that was, Spock will flirt with other people, but he's in love with Jim. And I'm like, yeah, I watched the motion picture after he goes and tries to contact V'ger, and I 100% agree with that. Apparently, even in the 60s and 70s, a lot of people thought the same thing. Like, Spock became like a gay icon. And like, it was such a problem that they added like stuff to the motion picture book about how like not gay Jim Kirk is. I don't know. I don't agree that season 1 of Next Generation was entirely very bad. Like, it was very much like a fourth season of the original series in a lot of ways. And there were some very cringy episodes. Like the one with the Irish settlers, that wasn't great. The one with like the all-black society, that was incredibly barbarous. Like, I didn't catch that stuff when I was a kid. I thought it was neat, but like you don't have black or Irish people on the show otherwise. Now, the original series was like very conscious of showing different cultures, like not just that like these are like people from like other countries that came to America, for instance, and have been Americanized. It's like, no, it's like Uhura just isn't black. She's African. She speaks Swahili. I don't even know if they give her any kind of origin country there, but like it's important that she's like African and not just like a Black American, for instance. Or there's Scotsman, like Scotty, or there's Finnegan, who's in 2 episodes at least so far in the first season, Naked Time and Conscience of the King, where he comes back. So like that's great. You have like a co-starring role one time where like these characters are very expendable and you get to come back as the same character. That's amazing. There was a guy though, was it that same episode or was it a different one, who was one of the scientists from The Cage, playing a different character. I think he was an Organian. Oh, so it was a different episode then. Was he? I don't. Oh, it might have been something else. Anyway, yeah. So like they make this very conscious effort. Oh, they show some other Japanese lieutenants and stuff besides Sulu as well. So like they make these very conscious efforts, power tab, whatever that is, to show like how multicultural this world is. And it's really incredible, actually. In the 80s, that stuff hits differently. So '74, wow. Yeah, Naked Now is the reason everyone hates Wesley. But like being a kid myself and also being younger than Will Wheaton, like, you know, in reality and also as like a character on that show, I actually really liked Wesley. Like he was a good kid insert character. He gets treated very badly by Riker, like to the point that, or not by Riker, by Picard, to the point that Picard tells Riker, don't let me make my fool of myself around children, which Riker fails at spectacularly when Wesley tries to visit the bridge. But Wesley is very smart. And he ends up saving the day. He becomes like the Finnegan of that episode, basically, though. Finnegan took over engineering. That's also where you see Omura. I thought he was a chief engineer when I was younger. It was actually the lady with the mole, the blonde lady, and the mole. Mole. Mole, 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 mole. I'm not doing that to make fun of her. I'm just thinking of Austin Powers a bit. But it's just, had a very distinctive look. And so when you're a co-starring actor like that, I'm sure you hope, because like chief engineer on the original series was a big deal, right? Like I'm sure you would hope that you're like, I'm the chief engineer now. And it's like, they go through so many chief engineers on that show. Like they die. I don't think she dies, but another one definitely dies. Like they have a chief of security that you finally see like in episode 20 something, the original series. Like there are these characters that were a big deal in the original show and aren't a big deal in the first season of this show. Like Worf's there, but it's not like have a job or a lot to do. He becomes the chief, the security chief later. It's also a department shift. For him. Give him a good job, something to do. But then Geordi stops being the helmsman. And the helmsman like goes to like a rotating cast of characters after. Like Wesley gets the job for a while, Ensign Rowe gets the job as like main starring roles, but like usually that position goes to whatever random person needs to be on the bridge for the story or is just there to fill the position. But you know, the original idea behind Geordi was that he's a blind guy flying the ship, ha 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 ha. So once that joke got played out, they made him chief engineer. So both of those guys made huge shifts in their careers for no discernible reason. So if you're going to take that as canon, then it makes no sense. But sorry, gotta focus on this battle here. Oh yeah, he is smarter, right? He had a really good idea this one time, though. So anyway, in this episode, he like walls off engineering, and like the assistant chief engineer, like the deputy chief or whatever he's called, he's the one that's in there with him, which the guy I thought was the chief. But they make it clear in the dialogue that it's this lady whose name escapes me completely. Who I don't think that we see before or since. Well, definitely not before. But also not since. I don't know where to go in this freaking forest, man. That's the way I came in, right? Let's go down this way and make sure that I'm not crazy. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, that is kind of annoying, right? But like, why have him on the show otherwise if he can't contribute in a way that the other characters can't? So I think like making him an acting ensign was a really smart move. And having Picard get over his stupid hang-up. Okay. So season 2 is where the writer's strike happened, right? That's why that season was short and also very bad. People hated Pulaski, hated her, especially the way she treated Data. And I think people forget that, like, even though Star Trek's supposed to show the future, I know people like to talk about it as an enlightened society, but the original series, like, makes a lot of... They talk a lot about how humanity isn't perfect, we just know how to solve our problems better. Like, we don't stop having them, we're just better at conflict resolution, essentially. We don't stop being human. Although there are several episodes that are concerned with like this overly mechanized future and like, you know, man has nothing to strive for yet. So you have these colonies that are, you know, trying to get away from utopia, essentially, which very much gets carried into the next generation and beyond. But to the point where there's a governor of a colony who pulls a Thanos, basically. That's what Conscience of the King is all about. Yeah, that's where Finnegan shows up again. Because he killed his, that guy killed his parents. I've been here already. Hopefully that sneeze isn't a bad sign. What level am I at? Am I at 4 or did I get to 5 already? Whoa, yeah, okay. I'm at 5. All right, 152 next. Okay. Doing pretty good on health still. Ooh. Thank you. Yeah, but this like Galaxy's Child or whatever, like magical pregnancy plot, just, oh, what a horrible trope. Riker gets this beer, but they still have those space pajamas. So anyway, what was I going with that? Pulaski is very mean to Data, but they don't deal with a lot of artificial life forms. So I think she's supposed to be like more McCoy-like, right? Like the way that McCoy is mean to Spock. McCoy is very mean to Spock, you guys. Like there is no indication that they're friends whatsoever. Again. All right, what am I supposed to do? What am I doing wrong? I'm grinding this way at least, so there's something. So, like, I can't even call, like, the ribbing between Spock and McCoy as good-natured. I really don't think they like each other, but they have to serve together. And, like, as much as you think like Spock and Kirk are friends, like McCoy and Kirk are like they're buds, man. They're bros. Spock is something else entirely. However you want to take that. But yeah. I have as many vaccine shots as I am authorized to have right now. I am not immunocompromised over 50 or 55 or whatever it is, so I just have the 3. I've been lucky so far. This is my second scrape with a known exposure, and I didn't get sick. I haven't had COVID yet. So at this point, I'm not like afraid of it, especially the strains that are actually out there now that people are getting are much more mild and survivable. So funnily enough, like in the middle of all of this, the CDC updated its guidance on Thursday. And like there's that infographic going around about how like they've relaxed things to this crazy point. But like I can read the guidance on the website, you guys, and I don't see it saying any of what they're saying. Like the only thing that does make sense is that they've streamlined the vaccinated versus unvaccinated guidelines to be basically the same. Because according to their figures, I don't know how true this is, 95% of the population has a vaccine now, which seems high. It seems really high. It seems like wishful thinking, to be perfectly honest. I don't know if they're like just going based on the number of shots that they've delivered versus the population. There's probably some, like, you know, if our population figures are wrong, if they're too low, then, you know, people are getting the shot, you know, who still need it, but... Ooh, this way? Yeah, here we go. Dead end. That is a dead end. All right. That's good to know. Anyway, that's the excuse for... Oh, okay. How did I miss this before? All right, we're making it to the castle, y'all. I go there. Your stamp collection. You had it 2 years ago? Oh, I'm so sorry. Unused Phase 2 script. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, it's just called The Child? I don't remember. I thought it was Galaxy's Child. Was Shades of Grey the season 2 finale? Well, that was definitely because of the writer's strike. Definitely. Because that was a flashback episode. Okay, so it's the 21st as opposed to the 33rd. So, yeah, it's about 400 years prior. Sure. Hold on. Well, that average is a bit lower, actually. So they all range for 28 and a half years. So the average goes up, apparently. Was that right? For 600 years, they had 20... Yeah, for 600 years, they had 21 rulers, and then for the next 400 years, they have only 11 more. So that makes sense, that the average would go up. So... Yeah, and their average was 36 and 36.36 repeating, so 36 and a third, shall we say. Who's this guy then? How did I save her? Oh, there's more up this tower. Oh, baby. Give me some loot! Oh, that's Hanukkah. Alright, fine. Ooh, I'm gonna prick my finger and become the most beautiful girl in all the land. The sleepiest and prettiest, most desired girl. Oh, where am I? What was I talking about? More Star Trek, Next Generation. So anyway, I think people were unduly harsh to Pulaski, mostly because she was a woman and she was so gruff. I liked her a lot. Like, I didn't like her, like I don't think I'd be friends with her, but it's annoying. I liked her as a character, and it's too bad that she's never ever been back. I don't even know how old she is now, but she was in the original series as two different characters. Dan Muldrew. I can't remember. I don't recall why they made that change. Did Gates McFadden not want to do it, or was she doing something else? Did they not want her as a shake-up to the cast? I can't recall. I'll take a snooze in a minute. Yeah, I'll talk to the maid. Oh, baby. Yeah, I can work from home at my job, so that's not really a big deal if I need to, yeah. It's privileged as hell, I can tell you that much. Like, I was talking to a friend of ours, and it's like, he's a carpenter. There's no work from home carpenters, you know? My brother-in-law's a pipe fitter. So... right, upper left. There we go. That was fast. Nice. It was 9:35. Why does everyone think I saved the queen? Maybe I did save the queen, but in the future. Whoa, okay. Ice cream. So was she in the future? Confusing. Anyway, so I haven't watched much of the Next Generation because I've been taking in the original series. So maybe I'll switch to TNG season 1. It's 26 episodes there or 24. I can't remember. It might be 20. It might be some strange number because they might count Encounter at Farpoint as multiple episodes. Coral pin. Have I been everywhere in this place? It feels like I have. Am I just gonna leave now? Might be a good stopping point if I can't figure out what to do next. I need to stop this stream anyway, because it's getting late and I need to rest for tomorrow. Yeah, I seem to be at a stopping point. I could probably find the coral pin elsewhere. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us on this impromptu stream. I know I said I wouldn't have one this week. So thanks for coming anyway. That was fun. I'm sure I'll do more of this. I might want to play ahead a little bit so I have some idea of what I'm doing and then kind of pop back. But can I even save anywhere? I can't. I'm like in the overworld and I can't save. Yeah, it just doesn't let me save anywhere. What am I supposed to do if like I'm playing on an actual like Super Nintendo or whatever? Ridiculous. Anyway. It's August now. I keep talking about how I recovered my camera. I haven't done anything with it yet though. Haven't really had time, unfortunately. It's been a pretty busy summer, so maybe this fall I'll be able to get into things again. But I have things that I recorded like back in like around November and like a little bit more around February. So there's some stuff I really need to get out there. There are certainly some older things I never released that I could probably put out too. Like we did that Tetris 2 plus Bombless video that was done years ago. I have longer hair and then what stuff I recorded because I didn't cut it until I went back to the office this spring or this summer. So, yeah, no COVID for me. I got a test on my dining room table waiting for tomorrow. So hopefully that sneeze doesn't mean anything. So I mentioned again, the podcasts are up and running again. We need to get some videos out there. And let's talk about our patrons, shall we? Because you guys make this whole thing go. And especially sorry. I know what I was going to say. Anyway, Dojo Disciples for the month of August are Andrew Greeley, Daniel Hathcock, Earl Grey III, and then going down the list because we're going to start reading off the, you might get a t-shirt to your people because we don't have as many Dojo Disciples anymore. But Lord, Jody A. Cornelius, Keith Robinson, Lena Blue, Peter Borrell, and Rachel Mosier. Thank you, one and all. I've mentioned before that the plan for this year is to do like a t-shirt print. Not everyone's going to like what we come up with, though, but you'll definitely get one in your size, and it'll be a more cost-effective thing for us to try and do. And then we'll like order a few extras and try and sell too. But if you don't like the design, as a backup, we're going to let you get a discount on some of the old ones if you haven't gotten them already. And the reason it's a discount, not like we're going to pay for it in full. Let me think about that actually, because if enough people go in on the new design, then maybe we should be able to cover it. Oh, I don't know. So the reason is that we use Teespring for those individual designs. We don't really have a lot of stock here. We have like the shirts we printed in 2017, the Nintendo Switch design. I'm not wearing it. We only have like some smalls left really. So we've gone through that stock's exhausted essentially. Maybe a few larges and some mediums. Might be one large left. I'm not sure. Those are much cheaper to produce, especially if we can do big quantities. We don't have enough patrons to do large quantities. We'll get like a dozen maybe. But so if you want one, now's the time to hop on that bandwagon, up your pledge to the $5 level so that you can get a t-shirt come the fall. So what I was saying was that the Teespring stuff ended up being very expensive. Like it was kind of cheap at first, but the idea was people were interested in the older designs that we didn't have anymore. So it's like, well, rather than try and do a full run and like lose a lot of money on it, we'll just do these prints and then give that to people. Well, two things happened. The prices changed when we started that and not COVID happened. So we had 2 years of orders to fill. And then there were a lot of international orders, and some of the shipping for international stuff was like as much or more than the shirts. So that kind of wiped us out for what we had in the bank to like pay for that stuff and this stuff. So we're going to go back to the original plan, which was we're going to have one design. We're going to get your input on what it should be so that the most amount of people can actually get what they want. And then we'll kind of go from there. So for those who don't know already, because I mean, I'm talking to you guys, you're all, or almost all of you are patrons already. But if someone's watching this after the fact, even for as little as $1, that gives you access to all of our hidden posts on Patreon, which includes videos, in progress stuff, drafts that we use to like course correct on things. You also get to see the new videos when we're making them first. And that's fun. They'll come out about a week before they're released. And then we'll give some idea of what we're working on. So I really owe you guys an update on Patreon about what's been going on. So yeah, we also try and announce these when I plan them on Patreon ahead of time so that we can get drum up more support and let you know that your dollar or dollars in some cases are going somewhere good. That's why we're doing these streams. Like I have new equipment. I've been slowly replacing things. If I was going to like buy a new microphone, I was going to do that too. I got to buy like a new mic cable for this because this one's dying and scratchy and whatnot. But yeah, guys, it's been fun. So we'll get that poll out there. So make sure you watch Twitter to vote on the next game that we're going to play. I'll probably do some more Chrono Trigger in the meantime anyway because it's kind of fun. Unless you guys thought there was enough Chrono Trigger playing and there was more Star Trek talk. I didn't mean to come in and talk about Star Trek the whole time, you guys. It was not my intention. Anyway, so that's all I got for this week. Thank you all. There'll be a Denshi mail out next week. Following week, another Two Boobs Watch the Tube. Week after that, we'll have the No Brand Con episode of Famicom Dojo, assuming that the sound quality is good. Like the Two Boobs one was. So we'll see if the Famicom Dojo one's salvageable. I think it is. but we'll see. And then we'll try and record some new podcasts soon, so you'll get to listen to those live, and then those will be out on the feed. In the meantime, I really encourage you to listen to the new Casual Trek that's on the Nerd and Tie network. So just go to nerdandtie.com. You should be able to find it there. I think the episode's also linked on our website. So if you go to famicomdojo.tv/podcasts, the trailer for Casual Trek and the first episode, I think, are linked in our podcast section. So you can listen to it that way, but I really recommend that you subscribe instead. That's it. I'm going to go get some ice cream. So thanks, everyone. Have a good night, and I'll see you next week, I hope.
Famicom Dojo.